welcome to Turtle Tracks Podcast. This is your host, Brian VanHooker, and I'm here with Julio Galvez, the owner of We Can Be Heroes Comics in which town in California? Forgive me, I should have asked that before.
Chatsworth, California.
Chatsworth?
Yeah, the porn capital of the world.
I don't know. That's near Burbank, right?
No, it's near Northridge. A lot of people know it because of the giant earthquake that we had, 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
Gotcha.
It's like about 25, 30 minutes north of downtown LA.
Oh, cool. So
If you get the greatest day without traffic.
A very cool event is happening there on June 21st. It's West Coast TurtleCon. It's a big deal. I mean, we were talking about this before we got started. Most Turtle stuff happens on the East Coast. They were born here. Many of the original artists are still here. So I think for Turtle fans who live on the West Coast, this is a cool event to be a part of. So, Julio, thanks for doing this. I appreciate talking to you.
Oh, no, I'm excited. I'm glad to be here.
So before we get into TurtleCon, which we certainly will, tell me about We Can Be Heroes Comics. How long have you been in the comic book business?
Oh, wow. I've been selling comics pretty much my whole entire life. But I've owned We Can Be Heroes for 5.5 years, going on 6. Yeah.
Okay. What were your most influential comics for you growing up? Were you a big Turtle guy? What were you really into?
Okay, so growing up, I think I was into whatever I can get my hands on. But one of the things about growing up in Burbank, I was very alone. Burbank is predominantly white town. And I was probably the darkest brown person in that whole entire town. So at this point, it was very hard for me to make friends. And I was doing okay at school. I could read, I could do all those things, but I just didn't want to.
Okay.
So my parents started taking me to this place. I was just talking to Howard Chaykin about this yesterday. The Movie World in the Golden Mall, and it was just city block place. It sold movie posters, books, comics, and they used to have this giant pile that said 10 comics for $1, but 10 was scratched out and it said 12. So I could just grab whatever, and I would take home different things. And I fell in love with Captain America, the X-Men, and Hulk and everything, and the most randomest things you could ever find. But I think my first memory of loving a comic book was G.I. Joe 21, the silent issue, which is weird because there's no writing in it whatsoever. But I was like totally obsessed with it because it was so well done. And it was the first time actually that I really was starting to make friends, because someone saw my Peachy folder, and they took it out of my Peachy folder and thinking, that they were going to, be a bully or something. And they were like, "This is my favorite book." And so I had my own little community there. So I always say G.I. Joe 21 is probably, and the G.I. Joe run was probably my favorite thing in the world.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, before getting to TurtleCon, what's been your relationship with Turtles? Were you a fan growing up, or later on, or anything like that?
Yeah, it was. I was around 16 years old, and I got my first job at Toys R Us. It was a couple blocks away from my parents' house. And one day I'm just walking down the aisle, and I see the most ridiculous thing in the world. And it's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle action figure, and the guy's name is Michelangelo. And I looked at him, I was like, "Dude, what are they going to think of next?" So I did my shift, and all I could think about during my shift was that toy. And I just went home, and I was at home, and I'm like, that turtle thing was kind of cool. And I went back, and I went to buy the Michelangelo, and then I ended up buying all of them. And there's this rat too. That was my first introduction to Turtles. And then like the cartoon came out later, and then all of a sudden I got obsessed with finding a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1, and from there it's just history. It's always been a part of my life. Turtles has been. My wife thinks it's the most ridiculous thing in the world until they find out your copy is worth 30,000-40,000.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden they become huge fans.
Do you have a particular favorite iterations of the Turtles?
I really liked the beginning, but I'm a big Lawson fan.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, his art is I always loved to draw. I never took any classes and stuff like that, but I could just relate to his art. Like I love the exaggerations, I love the hands and the movements and the way that he did things. So I felt like that was the closest to what if I became a professional artist, what I would want my turtles to look like.
Hmm.
So love the Lawson era right there with just the volume one, right?
Yeah, I mean, lots of
Yeah.
volume one, two, four. I
Yeah.
mean, his artwork has been a huge part of the turtle history. So,
Yeah. And then, so, I mean, Turtles has been so much a part of my life. I've read everything I possibly can. I have a very horrible memory, but I just remember it just being one of the things I just really enjoyed. And no one else was really into it when I was a kid, and as I got older, nobody really cared for it. It took me till I was like in the comic book store to find people that were super into Turtles.
hmm.
And just meeting the people that were in the Ninja Turtles, they were obsessed. And
Yeah.
I was part of that group. Without even knowing it, I was like, I bought that. I have that toy. I still have my van. I'm like, it's just such a part of my life so much. And then just being able now to meet the artists and befriend them and be able to talk to them and stuff. And, you know, it's just incredible. I've never involved myself with anything as much as I have turtles.
Tell me about so you own We Can Be Heroes comics.
Mhm.
You also oversee a series of events called Comics and Cocktails. What's Comics and Cocktails?
Comics and Cocktails basically is a return to old school comic shows. I love Comic Cons as much as anybody else, but anytime I went to a show when I was a kid, you actually got to talk to the artist or the writer and ask them questions. And it wasn't like a conveyor belt that they were pushing you across just to get your book signed, excuse me. And I wanted that old school feeling back.
Hmm.
And I was just trying to figure out a place where to do it. And I had a friend of mine who had been talking to me about doing these other events. And I was like, Comics and Cocktails. I told him this whole entire theory about bringing back old school shows. And somebody then asked me at the same time, why don't you do more conventions? And I was like, well, I work 90 to 100 hours a week. And I really don't want to spend my Saturdays preparing for another show that I'm going to work at and getting up early, and I just don't want to do it. So I figured out, wait a minute, who made this rule about starting comic book shows at 9 o'clock in the morning, at 10 o'clock in the morning? That's just insanity. And I said I can start my show at 1 or 2 o'clock, go into the evening, and add cocktails to it.
Sure.
And I said that out loud, and people were like, well, that's not a bad idea. So that's basically where Comics and Cocktails comes from. And the thing about Comics and Cocktails, it is a super relaxed show. The artists, yeah, of course, as soon as you open the doors, they're inundated and they're signing autographs and stuff. But I don't ever want them sitting behind their table. I want them to roam around, shop around, have a drink in the bar, have organic conversations with their fans. And those are the best memories I had as a kid. Not the bar, meeting them at bars or anything, but like just sitting at the table or running into like Matt Groening and buying some comics, or somebody else like George Perez at a booth or something, and just having a great conversation. Those are the things I remember as a child. So if I can build that memory for someone now, I'm that's what the main goal of Comics and Cocktails was, and it's been working. I have artists hitting me up now to do it. Actually, I had Sean Alexander, a friend of mine, introduced me to him, and I told him my shop was in Chatsworth, and I said, "Hey, would you ever want to come down to Chatsworth and sign at my shop?" And you know what he says to me? You know what I really want to do in Chatsworth? And I said, "What's that?" I want to do Comics and Cocktails. You're not knowing that I'm the guy that does Comics and Cocktails, and I'm like, "I'm Comics and Cocktails." He's like, "No way! I heard that show's amazing." Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's totally fun. It's a totally cool vibe. We got music bumping, people just having a great time walking around with cocktails. I mean, you got couples walking around, because that's something that, some wives and husbands are not into it, you know?
Sure.
And I started seeing that more and more, that couples and families were coming to it, even though it's called Comics and Cocktails, which I totally thought it would scare some members of the public away because of the cocktails part. But it's been an amazing event, and I'm glad that we can keep doing it and bringing it to TurtleCon. It's just another one of those little things, little bucket list things that I've always wanted to do. And damn, it's happening, and I'm really excited about it. And hopefully it works out. Hopefully we can do another one.
TurtleCon is one of these, like, how long have you been doing Comics and Cocktails? When did it start?
We've done 5, so going on 2 years.
Okay.
We're going on 2 years of doing it.
TurtleCon is like one of that series. When did it pop into your head like, oh, I should do one that's all turtles?
I was talking to Ben Bishop, and and the thing about talking with Ben, it's me and him have a really cool relationship. We're just always bouncing ideas. I'm very I don't have any fear. Like, I'll tell him my story idea or something. I'll pitch him this, I pitch him that, and he's been very supportive of that. And so we've been able to do some cool things, and we got some cool things in the future. But I just said, hey, I should do something turtle based out here in the West Coast. And he was just like, yeah, let's do a TurtleCon. And that's basically where TurtleCon comes from. It's just from that conversation of us spinning things back and forth.
Ben is the best guy. I've interviewed him a few times.
Oh, yeah. He's
I've interviewed him at his studio for when I did the oral history of the last round, and he's just the best guy. He really is.
Yeah. He's very nice, very kind, and
like crazy talented. Like, I love his take on the turtles. Like, he's just awesome all around.
Yeah, all around nice guy. And I mean, we did Bishmania together, and that was such a he was coming down here to sign. We do this. I'm the president of the Chamber of Commerce out here in my area. And I love supporting small business. It's like become my obsession. And so I did this street fair right after the pandemic, and I was talking to him on the phone. I was introduced to him by a mutual friend, and I told him I would love you to come down. And he goes, "Oh, maybe we can get Kevin to come." And I was like, "Oh my God, really?" And so we got Tom and we got Ciro Nieli and Chris Johnson, all these guys together, and we did this block fest. And it was just great. And he was talking, he said, "Listen, man, thanks for flying me out. And I'll do like a print for you that we can sell and sign, and you guys can keep all the money." And I was like, "Oh, that's fantastic." But I go, "Remember we had this conversation about Turtle Mania, how we would never own an original gold one?" That's the conversation I had with Ben one night. And we will never own one. And I said, "Well, we can make our own." And he's like, "Okay, what are you talking about?" So I would make a full replica of it, but we would call it Fishmania and just base it on your sketches. And he was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And this is literally 2-3 weeks before the Blockfest. And he made it happen. Like, in 2-3 days, I had the layouts and everything, and the way it was going to look. And it was just, dude, I'm creating a turtle book. I've entered the universe, even though it's not official or anything. But it was a great moment, and I'm so proud of that. And every time I see one sell, like, me and Ben will send like screen grabs to each other and be like, "This is it's amazing,"
And that's on my friend. The TurtleCon, you said there's some fuel added to the fire when you went to GraniteCon, right? Which year did you go to GraniteCon?
Just last year.
Oh, nice. I was there too. I don't know if we crossed paths at all. I got to do the turtle panel with like 20 members. I was running that.
Oh, yeah. We were. Oh, you know what? I got to tell you, people, that if you're a real turtle fan, you should go to GraniteCon when all the turtle guys are there.
Yeah, it really that's the most centralized place to kind of be able to see like as many turtle artists in one place as possible as GraniteCon.
The Armory, the Artist Alley room, it's incredible. Yeah. I've never spent so much time in an artist alley ever. I talked to every person there.
Yeah. And,
just admire the art, talk about their styles. And it's just an incredible thing. And I just wanted to replicate it, as close as I possibly can, because it was such a wonderful experience. I think if you love turtles, you need to go to GraniteCon. It should be a TMNT Mecca.
It really
take that.
is. I've been going since I think 2019. I think was the first time I went, and I've gone almost every year. Maybe I missed one or two because of COVID or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, and just it's the best. It's the TurtleCon. It really is. Like
Yeah.
that's the biggest convention for turtle plays. But like we were saying, really because so much of it is East Coast based, there's not
Mhm.
much on the West Coast for turtle
Yeah.
film. There really isn't.
Yeah. So basically, that idea we had, but we really put it to fruition there in the bar in the lobby at TurtleCon.
Yeah,
I was drinking with Mateus Santolouco, and he was like, I'll go. Yeah, whatever you want, I'll do
that's
it."
great. So let's talk about who you have. So you got Ben Bishop, of course.
Yeah.
Mateus is coming. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. We got Tom Waltz.
Awesome.
We got
I see. I have the list in front of me here.
oh yeah,
Looks
okay,
like
cool.
you got Ernie Reyes Jr., which is amazing. I've never been able to meet him. He's on my kind of like my list.
That's a cheat. He's a friend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Ernie is fantastic, and I met him at a convention many years ago. And being a fan of Kino, we started talking,
Sure.
and I invited him to my store, and he goes, "Yeah, let's do it." And we just became friends, and we have a lot of things in common. He loves the fight game. I love UFC, and so we just became friends. And anytime that he's wants to promote something, or he just wants to come and make some extra bucks, I'm like, I love having him here.
That's
He's a
awesome.
fantastic dude. So as soon as we came up with TurtleCon, I called him. He was actually mad at me. He was mad at me because he was at GraniteCon, and he was across the street in the arena, and I never went across the street. I never went
Oh,
across
he
the street.
was there.
Yeah, yeah. And he texts me. He's all, "Hey man, you've been here this whole entire time." I'm like, "Yeah,
I forgot that he was there. Yes.
I see you on a regular, bro." He's such a good guy. He's such a good guy.
Chogrin, a great artist.
Yeah, he's a good friend of my. We have a multimedia company here at We Can Be Heroes, and he's a really good friend of my partner Stephen Shea that runs the multimedia company. And he was like, "Dude, you got to get this guy Chogrin." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And I started like looking into him. That guy is amazing,
Yeah,
just an
he did
amazing
some really cool stuff.
artist.
Raymond Gay, who I don't know. I don't know him.
Oh,
Who's
Raymond Gay, yeah, he's friends with Ben,
Oh, nice.
and he does Spawn. Such a good guy. That guy's going to be huge, man. He's been doing Spawn covers, Power Ranger covers. He does Turtle variants and stuff. Just a
Oh,
talented
really?
guy. I've talked to him very little. I think I mostly talked to his wife. I think she's his manager and stuff. So they're still coming. They're out of Texas, I believe. I'm really, and you know what? And that's the buzz right there with the people that talking about going to TurtleCon. Him right there. He's just a really talented guy.
I'll have to check out his work more. And
Yeah.
Corey Smith too.
Yeah, yeah. Corey's coming. I'm very stoked on that. He drew one of my favorite covers of all time. It's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ghostbusters 1 in 10, where Mikey's wearing the pack on his back.
Oh, and he's like this, backward,
Yeah,
looking back.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a great. Yeah, that's
And
a great.
I got everyone to sign it. And it's so crazy. Everybody on that cover I got to sign except for Kevin Eastman. I don't know why. I was talking to Kevin and I could have got it signed, but I just didn't even think about it.
Sure.
And I just got it graded and it came back 98. And I was like, yes. See, I still got it, man. When it comes to this stuff, I'm such a nerd.
And a huge get is Ciro Nieli because he doesn't do a ton of shows. That's very cool.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, I'm really blessed when it comes to meeting these guys. He is a friend of my buddy Dave's, and Ciro used to come to the shop and not say nothing. He pulls his ninja stealth move and comes into the shop and never says anything. Actually, the first time I officially met him, he had been probably in We Can Be Heroes 2 or 3 times.
Wow.
And so he does it to me all the time. So he'll come in and like me and Steven will be standing at the register and be going, "Is that Ciro?" It is Ciro. "What's up, buddy?" He's the nicest guy in the world.
Very
Uber
nice. Very shy.
talented.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, very talented.
crazy. Yeah.
Just
That
yeah.
show
And
to
he's
me, I'm I'm an old school Turtle fan. My
Mhm.
favorite stuff is the original cartoon, the original
Yeah.
the first movie. But I think if I were to take nostalgia out of the equation, that 2012 cartoon is probably the best Turtle cartoon. It's
Yeah.
very
It's so good. And I think a lot of turtle fans will say that's probably the best.
Yeah.
You know,
Look at the balance of
um,
humor and action and drama. It's
and,
really
and it adds a whole new element too. So it's not like the rehash. There's a lot of new stuff in there. I just saw a lot of the episodes again because I have a 6-year-old and I've been trying to introduce him into turtles. I mean, there's a bunch of turtles stuff in my house, but he's just not into it. He was really into like Jurassic Park and Godzilla. He's like really into creatures like that. And I go, no, you have to watch this. You have to watch this. So we just jumped on the bed and we were watching it. And before you knew it, episode 2, he was like, oh, I got to see more. And I'm like, okay, great. So now he's a big turtle fan. A big
nice.
turtle fan. So I convinced him. I added one more to our clan.
That's fantastic. I think Ciro, I mean, I've had I've done 150 some odd episodes of this podcast now. Ciro is the single most listened to interview of anybody. Like
Oh man.
it's
Yeah, I can see that.
yeah, it's just such a like people. I think he's just recognized for being such a like he's just a genius. That guy really
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
He really is. He's a real, and he is a genius. He's a uber talented. Kevin Eastman said that to me. We just did Rocket Con a few months back, and we were talking about Ciro, and he says he's one of the most talented artists that he knows.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's 100%, and in so many different ways too. I mean, he's very talented. He does like crazy things. He was like, he was here and he asked me, he's like, "You're a big Dawn of the Dead guy," and I'm like, "Yeah." So you'll appreciate this. I just cleaned up my own entire cut of the film. Oh, like, what? Really? That's what he does. He just cleans everything up and makes his own cut. And he's all, you have to come over and watch it. I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. I'm like, let's show it here. Let's do that. But I mean, who does that?
That's cool.
Oh my God, it's super cool.
Uh
And I got him. I'm coming here too. He's got a cover coming up for
yeah,
Saturday
Saturday
morning.
morning adventures.
Yeah, he's got a
You're
cover
gonna
coming.
have him. So wait, this is gonna run on. I'm gonna post this episode May 26th. I think he's gonna be in your shop on May 28th, right?
Yeah, I think so. I believe I'm so bad with dates.
I think I
I gotta
have
have the
that. Yeah, I pulled that up earlier. That's
Yeah,
awesome. What a cool
yeah,
sign to have there. That's great.
yeah. I know. I just like I texted him. I'm like, your book's coming out. You have to come here, please. And
Yeah,
like next day,
I got your Instagram in front of me on May 28th. I guess that's a Wednesday.
hmm
8 p.m. in your store. Ciro's going to be signing, which is amazing.
Yeah, he's signing, and he does these amazing remarks, and he'll draw anything for you, and he is so quick, and it just looks amazing. I have like his prints all up here on the second floor, all over the place. So yeah, just a talented guy.
Next up, a guy who I've got to spend some time with and is amazing. Luis Antonio Delgado, amazing
Yes,
turtle colorist, super talented guy, and like the nicest guy ever.
nicest guy,
Yeah, he really
nicest
is.
guy. I mean, we almost didn't get him. Well, he was originally coming. We were like when we were in Granite Con, we were like, "Yeah, I'm coming." And then the fires came, and he had bought his ticket, and it was non-refundable. And
Um,
I talked to his people, and they're like, "Oh, it's kind of expensive," and I'm like, "I got it. Yeah, I have no problem paying for it. I want him here. It's very important that he's here." And so yeah, so he's going to be here.
because this event was originally scheduled for remind me when February,
January. It was January, like the
January,
third week of January. Yeah.
and because of the fires,
Yeah.
pushed to June.
Yes. Yes. And in many ways, it's a lot better. It was. I was hoping to like have the show in January, just like a ray of light during all that. But it's good. I understood why people didn't want to promote it and stuff. I mean, it looked bad. The out here the situation. It's still bad.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm glad we're going to get to do it now, and a lot of many things have happened, and we're adding things. Like, I mean, I got a call 2 weeks ago. We added the Marvel Rivals this last week to it, and we're going to have some more guests coming to it. So it's going to be a bigger party. I think we're going to actually extend the hours just so we can get everything in,
Oh
because
wow,
yeah, we are going to extend the hours.
you're gonna end up doing this at 9 a.m. after all, aren't you?
Pretty close. Pretty close, yeah.
The Escorza Brothers are coming, which is pretty cool. Those guys did the last
Very
run.
cool. Super talented guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited about having them. And I actually need to talk to them tonight or early in the morning tomorrow because I got to book their flights.
Oh shit! You better get on it.
It's just- so their manager guy, he's like, when are we going to do this? I swear I'm going to do it. It's just like we had this Blockfest event that got postponed. The our city of Los Angeles is getting ready for the Olympics and the World Cup, and they are enforcing different things in their permit process
Okay.
that they hadn't before. And we got caught, on something, and we were like, oh, "Are you serious?" So we had to postpone it, and it made me really sad. But I've been working to, get everything ready so we can do that in June, which is the week after TurtleCon.
Jeez, busy.
And yeah, it's just so much work, so much work.
I see that writer David Avallone's going to be there, who's like part of the extended Turtle family, which is cool.
Yeah, he is one of my closest friends. I love that man. It's funny. I would read his books and not know. Like, I would pick up like his Betty Page and Elvira and read those books and be like, just it's a cool cover and you just read it. And not only are those books fun, he is really clever
Yeah,
in figuring things out.
right.
And then one day I get introduced to him and I'm like, wait a minute, I read your books. You're funny, Oh,
Yeah,
and then we kept on running into each other. We had friends in the same circle. And there's this little thing called Comic Book Sundays that they have. It's kind of like a mixer for people that are in the industry and comics and film and stuff. And they would get together at different places like Titmouse Studios, and then we would get together at Jim Kruger's house, and I would just get who where he wrote Earth X and all that stuff with Alex Ross, and I run Avalone at all these things, and we would just always talk about stories and development ideas and stuff, and and we just became really good friends. He was just here for Free Comic Book Day. Anytime I could have David Avalone around me, I will do it.
I see Chris Johnson's coming.
That guy is a maniac. That guy is one of the craziest artists I've ever seen. It's just unbelievable what he's able to draw. It's unbelievable.
And I see Felipe Smith is on the list.
Yes, we become friends over actually like within the last maybe 8 months. He's a friend of my friend Dave Nguyen, who runs Tentacle 10. We were doing this impromptu creepy con event, and they wanted us to vend at it, and I was like, gosh, I really don't. I really don't like conventions. Like, I just really don't. I like going to them, not working them.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
they gave us the creepy guys, creepy con, which is an incredible con. If you love horror, you got to go to this. This is just
Okay.
great. But they wanted to extend an area for comics, so they talked to us and my friend Andrew, and they gave us a room to just do whatever we wanted with. And I was like, call my buddy Dave, and he goes, "Oh, you got to take Felipe. You got to take Felipe. He's great." And I'm like, the Ghost Rider guy? You know the Ghost Rider guy? I'm like, which was cool, right? I'm a
Sure,
comic
yeah.
book nerd. I want to meet these guys. So we brought him, and we hung out. He was great. He was fantastic. And I will always do CreepyCon. It was a great event. Had so much fun. So yeah, he's going to be there. He's going to be a lot of fun. He was just here for Free Comic Book Day too, and he had a nice line. He's going to do really good at TurtleCon.
And Pharaoh Pay, who I recently met, and good Lord, what a talented artist. Good.
He's very talented, and unfortunately, he is not going to make it.
Oh no,
He
that's
is
too
not,
bad.
yeah. That was the big bummer. That's a big bummer. He's going to. I think he's going to be in Europe somewhere. Where does George Clooney have a house in? His famous house, like
I'm sure George Clooney's got a house
Lake
everywhere.
Como or something like that,
I
like a
don't know.
Lake Como con. I think that's what it is.
Let's hope that
But
Fergie's spending his time. Pharaoh Pay.
yeah, but I would go to that.
Sure, I get it. Yeah. And
I'd
I'm
pass
saving
on
the
that,
best for
man.
last year. My favorite turtle artist ever, Ken Mitchroney, who I'm so glad is coming there. The famous, he did TMNT Adventures and
Oh
is
yeah.
just the best guy in the world. So I'm glad he's.
Yes, super nice guy, and I called him up somebody recommended to me, I don't remember who it was, and gave me their number and says he's interested in doing it. And it was really late, like literally like 2 weeks before we were gonna do the original TurtleCon. And I said, I am so sorry. I want you at my event, but I am like flat broke now. And he was like, no, I'll come anyway. I have friends that live in Burbank. This is like right down the street from my friend's house. And I was like, great. And we talked about trains and
Yep,
stuff. He's all into trains. And I was just like, what an amazing guy.
he really is.
So I'm really excited about him coming here. And actually, one of the cool things that we're going to do that weekend, because we have TurtleCon on Saturday, but on Friday, we're going to have him, David Avalone, Delgado, and Ben Bishop in the store doing a drawing blood signing.
Oh, nice.
So you've heard it here first.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna have
So,
we're
I mean,
gonna
is
have
there
fun with
anybody else who's not included on that? I wasn't sure if there's anybody late additions that weren't on that posting. I wasn't sure.
it. I'm still working on a couple people. I
Okay.
have some regulars that are not turtle artists that might be there. I was with Howard Chaykin yesterday. He was here at the shop and he never misses comics and cocktails. Like when's the next comics and cocktail? When's the next cocktail? And I'm like, TurtleCon. And he's all, you want me at TurtleCon? Yeah, it's like a normal convention. You just have a turtle section,
Sure.
And he's all, you gonna get Dennis Cowan here? Dennis shops here. And I was like, yes. He's all, well, bring him because I need to talk shit to him. Oh my, Howard's the best. So we might see Dennis Cowan there and a couple other people there. So it's all up in the air right now. But that is the turtle list, and there might be more. I'm wouldn't be surprised.
So that's again June 21st. Wait, so where is the event?
It's in Burbank, California. It's at AKS Studios in Burbank. It's off of Isabella Street. It is the old Technicolor building back in the day when they used to do their Technicolor stuff there. And it looks like a castle from the outside. And AKS Studios Stages took it over about a year ago and remodeled the whole entire thing. It's beautiful. I used to ride my bike in the Technicolor parking lot when I was a kid. I grew up literally 3 blocks away from this place, and it's really cool to be able to go there and do a show there because I have so many memories of that building and riding my bike in it and stuff. And the thing about sound stages is that unfortunately they're not being used right now. Because of the Hollywood is just, it's all entertainment business is all crazy. Yeah. And they want to help us out, make our show grow, and at the same time we're helping them. And sure. So I don't want to do hotels, ballrooms. I don't want to do giant convention centers. I just always wanted to be different and special. That's why we started in we at the Elks Lodge. We did our first comics and cocktails. I wanted it. I love the fact that it looked like something in Wisconsin, even though I never been to Wisconsin. I just figured everything that it's inside the Elks Lodge looks like that in Wisconsin.
Sure.
And I just wanted to have a special thing for comics and cocktails, and these sound stages are fantastic, and they have room for us to expand. We're in 13,000 square feet of space, and then there's like a 2,500 square foot bar area and lobby, and we can grow in that stages up to 50,000 square feet. So
that's great.
We're not going to stop until we fill the whole entire thing eventually. So.
Well, that's really awesome. Give us just so if people are in the area, give them the address of of We Can Be Heroes again, please.
Okay, so We Can Be Heroes is at 9449 DeSoto in Chatsworth, California, and we're on the corner of DeSoto and Plummer. We have a 7,200 square foot shop. We do comics, toys, TCG. We have a multi-purpose room in the back where we can do tournaments up to 100 people. We have a stage in the back. We do live music. We do trivia. We do movie screenings. We just rented out the back area to a film wrap party We do networking events for entertainment industry, comic book signing. We had the X-Men 97 signing was incredible. We had
Oh, wow.
like 3/4 of all the X-Men 97 voice actors in the back, and it was incredible. It was such a fun event. And that room turns into somewhere we can film and do photography and videography with our multimedia company that's run by my buddy Stephen Shea here, Abysmal Entertainment. And we're actually going to film a movie up here. And then the upstairs is a conference room where we do our claim sales. We do pressing and cleaning comics. We have a podcast room. Yeah, it's an incredible building. We got really, really lucky with here. So.
And for those who are not local, they can follow you on Instagram. It's just We Can Be Heroes Comics. So
everything we do that.
The last thing I wanted to ask you is the same question I ask of everybody. Who's your favorite turtle and why?
Michelangelo.
Yeah.
Michelangelo. Yeah, just the funnest turtle. I think he just everything is a shake off, like, he could always be happy even at the most inappropriate times. He's hilarious, and at the same time he's got your back. I always felt like Mikey was just the smartest of all the turtles, even though he doesn't play the smartest of all the turtles. And it's funny, when Ronin was announced, the conversation was, who is the last Ronin? And everybody's, it's Raphael. I'm like, no, he's the first to go. He's the craziest one. He's the angriest one, and I believe it's Michelangelo. And everybody was like, no, there's no way the stoner turtle is going to be the last Ronin. And so I was talking to Kevin, and someone asked him who his favorite turtle was, and he said Michelangelo. And I was like, see, great minds think alike.
Well, I'm all set here. Julio, nice to meet you. Anybody who's on the West Coast turtle fan, like I said, a lot of this stuff is East Coast based. This is your best chance to see a lot of really cool turtle people. So go check it out. June 21st, TurtleCon in Burbank. I wish you the best with it. I wish I could make it. I'm stuck in New York, so I really hope it turns out well.
Well, thank you so much, man. It's a pleasure to meet you, and I would love to do this show anytime you want me to. And eventually, I'll see you at one.
Oh, I'm sure. Absolutely.
All right.
Take it easy, man.
Take it easy, man.
Get right with the shell shock pizza kings. Can't stop these radical dudes. The secret of the ooze made the chosen few emerge from the shadows to make their move. The good guys win and the bad guys lose. Leonardo's a leader in blue. Does anything it takes to get his ninjas through. Donatello is a fellow, has a way with machines. Raphael's got the most attitude on the team. Michelangelo, he's one of a kind, and he knows where to find him when it's party time. That's a splinter out of every single skill they need to be one lean, mean, greedy, credible team. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.